Okay, so I'm back again. This time I have the Undead Heroes. We have the Lich King. We have Maragar. We have a Crypt Lord. These are the first three heroes in the list when it comes to the Undead race. So, Lich King. He has Harvest Soul. Now this drains 30 HP from the enemy target to the hero every second. Lasts for 5 seconds, and during the time it's channeling, the enemy cannot move, attack, or cast spells. So this doubles up as crowd control and a heal. It's very nice. Howling Blast, level 1. Does 40 damage to all enemy in the target area. So you can see the target area is this kind of size. Doesn't sound like a lot of damage, but look at the extras. You get Frost Plague, which reduces the movement speed by 30%. You get 30% damage taken on the target for 5 seconds. And this damage and debuff goes higher as you get more levels. So, imagine you've got another hero, such as this one, that has a nice ability. You use Howling Blast, instantly combo it up with this, and it'll do 30% more damage, and then another one for another 30% more damage. You get a really nice hero nuke potential with the Lich King in your army. Frost Armor. Activate, and the Lich King will get Frost Armor. He will deal 20 damage to all enemy units around him and freeze them for 1.5 seconds. I don't know if this happens whenever he gets hit or if it's just a passive sort of aura. Either way, it sounds pretty awesome. Stuns are always good. And for his ultimate. I've not played this game enough since it got released with the Undead to actually get an ultimate activated, but this sounds fucking crazy. Wrath of the Lich King. Yes, he licks you like some crazy Pokemon. Typos, guys. Anyway, all enemy non-hero targets get touch of the Lich King. 50 damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. If a unit is killed during this effect, the Lich King drains their soul and gets 10% attack speed plus 1 armor. And it can stack up to 10 times, lasting 60 seconds. That is mental. If you can manage to kill 10 things in that duration, you will be unstoppable. Really crazy ultimate. Bone Guard. Maragar. First boss of Icecrown Citadel in World of Warcraft, and very fond memories he has for everybody. Bone Spike. Straight out of the raid encounter. Summon a Bone Spike from the ground, enemy target will get 150 damage and stun for 5 seconds. Anyone else within 2 yards of that target will also take 50 damage. Level 3 version of that is a sick AoE attack. 300 damage. Anyway, onto his other abilities. Slash. After preparing for 2 seconds, so it's got a cast time, hero inflicts 150 damage to all enemies within 2 yards, so it's quite a short range, and knocks down non-hero targets, which is kind of like a pseudo stun. And again, max level of that is mental damage. Bone Armor. Summon Bone Armor to protect the hero, and ability damage taken gets mitigated by up to 60% depending on the level you have. And it has 3 charges, it seems. His ultimate, you know what it is. Bone Storm! And it should all be in caps. Striking all nearby targets within 3 yards for 100 weapon damage every second, plus 100 movement speed while it lasts. Such a great ability. We all remember that if we raided Icecrown. And hopefully he has the voice acting to go with that when you activate it.
Speak.
Anubarak, the Crypt Lord. Very Warcraft 3-esque, he has Impale, which is a line AoE dealing 90 damage and stunning things in the line for 3 seconds. Brilliant ability, always good to have. His other abilities, Burrow Charge. If you remember the beta for Heart of the Swarm, you'll remember this being applied to Ultralisks. It is back now with Crypt Lords. Hero diving into the ground, charges out to the target point underground. When Hero comes out, enemy units will be shocked into the air. It costs 45 mana, has a 15-second cooldown. It's quite nice, and the range of it is actually quite long. So it's quite good for like escaping attacks or engaging them. If you're getting absolutely torn apart on this hero, just burrow charge out of there, because it is a target on the ground kind of thing, a bit like Lich King with this kind of thing. Third one, Spiked Carapace. It's activatable. When you turn it on, he attacks slower, but he has a 35% chance to parry attacks, and when he does that, he gains 80 health. Very nice. And it lasts for, I don't know, maybe it's like a permanent toggle because of the minus 25% attack speed and the sort of internal cooldown on the heal. And his ultimate, Locust Swarm, creates a swarm of angry locusts that bite and tear nearby units within 6 yards. Each attack will cause 50 damage, and the hero will gain 15 HP from the attack, lasting 20 seconds. So I guess that they swarm around him and cause that damage and self-heal. So this is a very, very tanky hero. He's got all these different versions of escaping combat to regenerate and heal up, as well as stunning things so that people can't attack him during that duration. So, very good tanky unit. So let's get those guys into the action over here. We shall have our Lich King, Howling Blast, we shall have the Impale Wizard over there, and we shall just Stone Spike on that thing over there, and then the Lich King can do another Howling Blast, channel his Heart of his Soul on that, so that it can't act. We'll do another... Okay, we ran out of enemies to kill, and it dropped a Ring of Defense of all things. Now, do we have any interesting things? Dead My Hand's kinda cool. 20% chance to get an effective 50% movement speed. Can't be bad. Anyway, coming up next, the next 3 Undead Heroes. And here we are with the final 3 heroes for the Undead race, completing the racial hero selections throughout all 4 races, barring of course the mercenary ones, which are going to be in a separate video along with the units referring to them. So, here we have a Lich, here we have a Death Knight Lord, and a Deathbringer. And the first thing I want to do is kill that fucking deer. Get out of here. So, a Lich. Classic unit from Warcraft 3. And he has Frozen Nova, which is basically the same as what he used to have. It does damage to the target, and then AoEs to everything around within 2 yards, and freezes them for 3 seconds. Now this keeps scaling higher and higher, and is awesome. His second ability is Frostbolt, which is 100 damage, and does movement speed minus 50% for 5 seconds, and keeps scaling higher and higher also. Now you may notice the damage is the same, and then you think, huh, that's a bit strange, why would I ever use Frostbolt if I've got a Frost Nova? Because clearly that one's better. Not true. The Frostbolt is autocast, and he constantly spams it. This has a 15-second cooldown? 8-second cooldown, and costs 30 mana. So it's more expensive, and obviously it's better if you want to be doing AoE quite regular, but for more sustained damage, Frostbolt is the better choice, because you can just do one after the other back to back. Ice Block. Hero becomes encased in a block of ice, protecting the hero from all physical attacks and spells for 5 seconds. During this time, plus 5 mana regeneration. So basically, it's just like the mage spell in World of Warcraft. You become invincible for 5 seconds, and you get a bit of mana just because it's a nice thing to have. And the mana is actually something that scales each level up you get of this, which, in my opinion, makes this less desirable to get past level 1. And his ultimate is Death and Decay, damages everything in its area of effect by 4% of its base hit points per second, channeling over 20 seconds. Actually, I don't know if it's channeled or if it's just an instant and you just leave it to do its own thing. I've not got that high with the Lich, and I guess I will find out in the future. Death Knight. Now this guy is basically Arthas out of Warcraft 3, because the abilities are pretty much the same. He has Death Coil, he has Death Pact, he has Unholy Aura, and Army of the Undead. Summon 8 ghouls to fight for you for 45 seconds. Kinda similar-ish to the old one. Unholy Aura. Provides Unholy Aura, plus 20% movement speed and 2 life regeneration to nearby friendly units. When activated, hero will provide Enhanced Unholy Aura, 60% movement speed, 10% life regeneration, and it lasts for 5 seconds with a cooldown of 60. So it's got a passive and an activate, and the cooldown gets less on level 3, lowering it to 30 seconds. So it's great to get on at the very least on level 1. Death Pact deals 300, 450, 600 damage to a friendly undead unit, healing the hero for the same amount. Death Coil, 150, 225, 300 damage to the enemy target that is not undead. Heals 600 HP to friendly undead target at level 3. Just like in Warcraft 3, this guy's a healer, and he heals a lot using Death Coil. Great addition to your army, and very much worthwhile taking. Last but not least, Deathbringer. This is the 4th boss from Icecrown Citadel, and he has... whoa. He has Death Strike. Focuses Dark Power into a strike that deals 200 damage to an enemy and heals the hero for 100. How awesome is that? This guy's healing is insane. Summon Rune Weapon. Summons 2, 3 or 4 rune weapons to fight for the hero for 60 seconds. This is awesome. It's Shadowmourne. He just gets Shadowmourne everywhere. Rune Parry. This is actually the same as the Crypt Lord. Minus 25% attack speed. Hero has 35% chance to parry. And when he does so, he gains 80 HP. 5-second internal cooldown. Winter Horn as its ultimate. 100 maximum HP, 20% critical strike, 50 mana to all friendly targets within 15 yards. That's pretty freaking cool. Even if it was just the 20% crit chance, that'd be awesome. But with the 50 mana as well, that really helps in keeping up your spells on some other units. So let us go and kill the sacrificial lynxes that we keep finding, and I shall show you what happens when we do so. Did I actually take it? No, I didn't. Let us take Death Coil. So here is Frost Nova. Boom! Take that, bitches. And let us get our summon rune weapons. Yes, so there's that. 2 minions come out, and then we've got this guy Death Coiling from the back. Boom! Take that guy out. That looks like a little fireball. And that is how that works. So I actually really like the Deathbringer, the fact that you can get these 2 axes to tank loads of damage for you, and they actually do a decent amount of damage. This makes this a great first hero choice. And then back that up with the Death Strike self-healing. He is an absolute powerhouse. I think I'm going to be using that guy quite a lot. So that wraps up the Undead Heroes and all of the racial heroes. I will, in a separate video, like I said, do mercenary heroes, mercenary units, and mercenary goblins together. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.